Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today, whilst I paint this adorable chihuahua, I'm also going to be talking about pet portraits, how to start making pet portraits as part of your business, how to market your services, how much to charge for your artwork, and some tips and tricks on how to start today. There are some things to consider before you start, and something I would say to take very seriously from the get-go would be how you're going to market your services to others. The pet portrait industry is rather oversaturated at the moment. There are a lot of really talented artists out there that are offering pet portraits as part of their business. So a really important way to get your work out there is to market it properly. And I don't pretend to have all the answers about that, but I do think that using social media is really important. I have a video all about how to use social media as an artist and illustrator, so I'll leave that linked in the cards and also down below if you want to check that out after this video. Something that can really help your customers make the decision to purchase one of your pet portraits is to show a little bit of the behind the scenes. So showing some work in progress can really help customers understand how an artwork comes together and how much time and dedication goes into it. You can do that on Instagram, Twitter. YouTube is a great place to show work in progress like I'm doing now. Another really important factor to consider before you start would be what you're going to offer that's going to be slightly different from what other artists are already offering. So I want to use an example for this. There's an illustrator and artist that I follow on Instagram called Finley Elliott, and she specialises in pet portraits. And I think she mentioned in a blog post or something that when she was starting out, she looked at what already existed out there and thought, what can I bring to the table that's going to be different? And her pet portraits are so striking and beautiful, and an element that she includes that is quite different from other pet portraits that I've seen on the market. She includes a really striking, bold background. Her style is very painterly and quite realistic, and then it contrasts with a background that is usually quite brightly coloured, and it might be a repeat pattern. I think she did one recently which was peaches as a repeat background, and it just looks so striking and stunning. And I think she's been very smart there in thinking how she can bring something different to the pet portrait market, and I'm sure that's had a big impact on her success. Perhaps you aren't comfortable with using social media to market your paintings, in which case I would suggest attending craft fairs and country fairs, markets, that kind of thing. Alongside selling your prints and stationery and products you might have, you could also have a plaque that lists the details about your pet portrait service. You could also offer leaflets or business cards talking about your pet portrait service, and maybe include somewhere where someone can sign up for a mailing list about pet portraits and whether you have any availability. Another great option is to advertise in your local area, in the post office, in bookshops. When I first started down the path of pet portraits, I was being asked by friends and family to paint their pets or pets of their friends as gifts, and it just seemed like a very natural progression to then add a pet portrait listing to my Etsy shop. An area that took a little bit more time though is working out how to properly price my original paintings. I will admit that when I started, my prices were quite low. That was mostly down to me feeling like I wasn't experienced yet, because I do think that is something to consider. If you are only just starting out, maybe your prices will be a bit lower, and as you gain experience from working with customers and your technical skills become much stronger, that might be a good time to start raising your prices. So it might be a gradual thing that happens over time. What I will say though is make sure you are being paid more than minimum wage. Make sure that your materials and your time are properly covered. Look at what other artists are already charging. You can find plenty of pet portrait listings on Etsy, or you can go on different artists' websites and find the price listing there. I'll leave my Etsy shop listings below if you want to see what I charge for my pet portraits. So yeah, make sure your material costs are covered. Make sure you've considered the size of the artwork you're going to be working in and how long that will take you to produce that painting or drawing. Make sure you offer competitive prices with your peers, but make sure you're charging enough to cover your time, your materials. Make sure you're being paid more than minimum wage, hopefully a lot more than minimum wage, and really make sure you value the price of an original, one-of-a-kind piece of artwork. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions about pet portraits, please leave them in the comments. I'm also currently taking on pet portraits, so you can find the listings in my Etsy shop. Thanks for watching, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!